What's going on, guys? Welcome back to XMC. This is, of course, episode 1. I'm not too sure why I'm saying welcome back, but I am saying welcome, good night, good morning, wherever you are. In today's episode, we're just going to be working on the outline for our base. I don't know why I'm talking like this, but I hope I can continue without running out of breath. So, as you saw in the last or first or 0th episode, I showed you a little bit of what I've already done. And I'm going to take this time to explain that the reason I didn't start off recording was because I originally built my base in an area that was already claimed, which was not exactly acceptable, so I had to move, and then I had trouble importing the recording into my software, so I had to scrap that video. But the good news for you is you won't have to see me on a boat for about 20 minutes getting to my current location. Now, as I sleep, some editing magic will take us into a time-lapse where I clear the surrounding area. Alright, so with the surrounding area inside our base cleared out and semi-flattened, I'm going to continue work on the outline to give you guys a better image of what the base will look like. Alright, with that out of the way, we're going to continue on. We're going to clear out some of this area on the outside. Before we do that, I did mention earlier that we would benefit from having an acacia log farm, and although we do have some wood on us right now, we're going to need significantly more for the plans I have for the walls of our base. Now, the acacia farm I'm doing is a very simplified version of some of the automatic farms you may have seen, in that it is neither automatic nor really a farm, as it is just an area for me to conveniently and compactly plant the trees and harvest them. The way it works, as you'll see, is I'll have one torch connected to 4 adjacent spaces, and in each of these 4 spaces, you'll see 4 acacia saplings. This is because the acacia saplings can grow as long as they're at least 1 apart, and as long as they have constant access to light. And in the setup you'll see, which I'll probably mess up about 20 times before I get it right, each sapling both has space and light to grow. allowing for approximately 30 saplings at once in this small area to grow fully for me to then harvest. Alright, just putting the finishing touches up on our little farming tree area, just making sure that all of it is actually planted and lit up. I'm gonna go ahead and get some more acacia slabs. I seem to have run out. I'm just gonna build a nice little border around the farm so that I can tell where the trees are gonna grow inside, and so that we don't get any weird generation. Now you can see in chat somebody fell. I think it's because their elytra broke, but I guess we'll never know. We don't even have elytras yet. With this border in place, I believe the tree farm's done and dusted. Just gonna give it a once over, and it looks like it is done. I think we're ready to move on. With the tree farm built and the logs harvested, it was time to build the wall. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that little time lapse of the north wall. Obviously, in the future it will be expanding upwards. But for now, I want to take a little detour and explore this funky generation that's happening to the north side of our base. It seems very mountainous and is very laggy to my computer that is built like a gaming computer from 1997. So let's go and explore. So we can see by the looks of it that there are some water streams that go right the way to the top, but as it looks, neither of them actually reach the top. But I have a feeling that I can mine once I'm up there, and we'll have a better view. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to place some temporary blocks. In fact, I'll get rid of them right now because they look ugly. You can see that even though we made our way almost to the top, there is still some height to gain, which is good if we ever want to build something really, really high up. Now this is just amazing. Look at that cave generation. You can see 1 and 2 skeletons, a zombie generating in this nice area, and there's still upwards to go. This little funky generation is actually an island, it seems, and either that's man-made or a very convenient generation, and the waterfall seems to go up even higher than this one did. And we also get a very nice view of our entire base, well, half of our base from here. Hopefully I can turn up the render distance, and when it's more complete, we'll have a nice area to look at the base. But as it seems right now, there's no way to get up there. No, unfortunately we're gonna have to wait until we get an elytra, or I feel comfortable destroying the side of this mountain for a better view. But I think the one we have now is just fine enough. Let's head back to our base and get some more wood to continue our walls. Hello, cow. Goodbye. It appears I'm out of food, so our second farm is gonna have to be an agricultural one. Fortunately, on my way here, I did find some carrots and potatoes. In fact, I think I have most of the seeds, as I encountered a village earlier. So we'll decide. I believe the way our base is looking, it would be wrong not to start a carrot farm, because let's face it, if not for these dark spots, our castle would be a giant carrot. Now, a smart decision would be to eat all 5 of these, have full hunger, and then not have any carrots, but I think I'm gonna go for the farm. Now, while I'm thinking about where to put the farm, I'd like to talk about something called an automatic villager farm. I'm sure most of you have seen them. They're not too complex, and no, I did not come up with the notion of an automatic villager-based farm, but I feel like setting up my farm in that format will help us later on when we're importing villagers to serve as our farmers. Now that we have some bread, we should probably figure out where we want to put this villager farm. Now, if I look at the location of the village relative to us, the nearest one happens to be very far. Well, I say very far, it's only a little bit far west of us. At least I believe. Yes, it is. So I think it's best that the villagers feel closest to their home. So east, south, west. Oh, how convenient. I didn't want to build here. But that's okay. I guess we're gonna build southwest. As we know, the villagers are in the west and the farmers are in the south. The villager farm I'm going to be making is a design I've seen on channels like Impulse SV and Il Mango. I can leave it in the description, but having a search villager farm Minecraft would do you better. Now, a very important part of this farm is to have it shaped specifically in a almost diamond shape, and to do that I need to lay out the floor below it, because otherwise it's going to be difficult to do that later. So, after a quick sleep, we're gonna head into the farm making time-lapse. It seems that even though I have built the farm, I am both lacking the proper light blocks, and the buckets, and the water, so it seems we're gonna have to go on a little mining session. I hope it's not as boring as it sounds, but I already do have a small little cave down there, and I have found iron previously. Unfortunately, it has gone to tools because I need tools that don't break after using them for 131 different blocks. So I'm going to spare you the boringness and cut back to when, oh god, there's a skeleton there. Okay. I'm gonna cut back to when I'm done with the mining. So I've made a little storage pen for my water besides the animals, and we're gonna go find the nearest source of water, fill it up, fill our farm up, and get to making food. There's one bucket that somehow became 2 buckets. There's 1 bucket down. Let's go get our second bucket. And second bucket. And the water issue seems to have not fixed itself. Well, we'll just leave that be. And with our second bucket in, we're good to go. In fact, as a precaution, I'm going to make both a second bucket and the worst decision ever. There we go, and there we go. We're going to be using this tool a lot in the future, so I believe it's a good investment to make, and I didn't get water. There we go. Now let's go finish up our farm. I'm going to make a temporary infinite water source, so as to not have to go back and forth. It shouldn't really be a problem, but just for convenience sake. Alright, that should be all. Let's cover up this source of water, and let's till all this land. Alright, now that the farm is nice and set up, I've decided that I'll grow both potatoes and carrots here just for the time being, because food is currently in the lacking right now, so I can't be picking. In fact, I may cover the rest of this with regular wheat seeds. We'll see. Anyway, in the meantime, we can't just have one wall up, so we're gonna have to get all of these walls up, and as you see, only 2 of them have the entrance. I'm thinking that because that one goes off a cliff and that one goes off a cliff, it may not be worth the investment in time or wood to make an entrance, but I may end up doing it anyway just to have symmetry in the base. As it turns out, all I have is 1 melon seed, which I'll place there, 2 beetroot seeds, and I'll fill in the rest with wheat seeds as to not be wasting space. In any case, by the time we get villagers here, this farm will probably be exclusively carrots or potatoes, but I have a while to decide that. Once I'm done planting over here, I'm gonna go over and harvest some wood and start working on, I don't know, probably the east wall, or maybe even the pillars. In fact, I probably will be doing either of these pillars once I harvest the tree farm. So as you would notice, some of the footage was actually cut short because I went AFK for a sum total of about 15 seconds, at which point I was blown up almost immediately by a creeper in about this general area, let out all my cows, destroyed my wall, and I had to go about repairing it. The astute among you might have noticed that my skin's outer layer is not showing. I have a feeling this is because I died, but nevertheless this will be fixed by next episode. Enjoy! Now you might be wondering why I'm even doing this specific area. Well, first of all, I do need a clean area to at least start off my base, and my storage can't all just be floating right over here. But secondly, I want to set up a little studio right over here, or over there, or over there, or over there, for areas where I might need to just talk. So, since we've last spoken, I've gone mining and got myself proper tools and armor to make our base building journey a little bit easier. We're gonna cut to a time lapse of me finishing what I believe is whatever that wall is, that way that I'm punching. And then we'll do some flattening of the ground. This area is actually my in-game recording studio. This is where I'll be doing the out-of-context speaking that I will cut in later. And I can click the Optifine Zoom button as much as I want. Alright, let's get building. But first, I had to check up on my farm. To fix the mess, I just split the farm in half, carrots and potatoes, and some wheat too. guys, I hope you enjoyed that. As you can see, we finished pretty much half of our base, just about the east and north walls, as well as doing some of the floors, some of the pillars, making a tree farm, making a basic farm as well for food, a unnecessarily large bamboo farm, and right outside over here you can see the makings of a sugarcane farm. Maybe in the future we'll make this automatic. Over here you can see a piece of bamboo I forgot to pick up. And if we come just inside, you can see the chicken, sheep, and cow farm, as well as our water pen. And over here our little recording studio, and our bedroom area. And down over here is our mine right down there. And of course this beautiful mountainous floating area that we have just over there. I'd like to thank everybody for joining us for the first episode of the XMC SMP. It's Adam Allen, signing off for today, tonight, or midday. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.